Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Wreaths and Crafts. Today we're going to be making two cute Halloween wreaths using some dollar store supplies and some things that I already had lying around the house. This first DIY is a wreath that I got from the Dollar Tree. Then I've got some spiders here that I already had from Walmart and some cute picks I got from the Dollar Tree. I've got these skeletons from the Dollar Tree and some various ribbons and these lights. I'm not sure if I'm going to use yet, but I brought them out. And then this foliage I just had. I got it at the Dollar Tree. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it. And then these really cute nostalgic looking Halloween signs from the Dollar Tree, as well as this pipe cleaner, Chanel stems, whatever you want to call them. I'm really excited about these signs though. I think they're gonna make a really cute wreath. So our first step here is to take the pipe cleaners, and that's what I'm going to call them from here on out. You can call them whatever you like. I'm just gonna twist them around tightly on this wire wreath. I'm gonna go around once where the two metal pieces are joined or connected here. Just one at every connection. I don't know how else to best describe that. I'm just going around, and then I'm going to go in between each of those as well. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and speed things up a little bit. I know that you all don't want to watch me twist pipe cleaners around a wreath all day. If I didn't speed things up, this video would be much longer. This does take a few minutes to go around and twist everything evenly. Now I'm going to go around the center and add in pipe cleaners here. We are going to go around with our burlap ribbon on the outer side and on the inside, because you want this to be as full as you can get it. We're going to start out with our red burlap. I'm going to push this through the wire wreath part itself. So the end is going to push through, and you're going to take your first pipe cleaner, start wherever you want, because there's obviously not a starting place per se. You're going to create one. You're going to push that in through, and then you're going to wrap the pipe cleaner or Chanel stem tightly around that end, and now you're going to create your starting point. And you're going to work around a circle, just creating these poofy little portions. I want to say between 5 and 7 inches long about. You don't have to measure, just eyeball it, you know. This does not have to be perfect. That's the beauty of making a wreath this way, is how easy it is. You don't have to measure these. You're just going to go around and gather it up and tightly, bend the wire around so that you secure that burlap in place, or whichever ribbon you're using. I could have used multiple things. I just had this already in my craft room, and I wanted to use it for this because it's red. Red's kind of Halloweeny, right? So I'm just using what I have. You don't have to go out and buy all new things for every project. If you have some things in your collection, use them. So I'm just going to go around and keep twisting and keep creating. I keep calling them little poofs. I don't know what to call them. That's what I'm calling them. Poofy little portions around this wreath. I know this doesn't look like much now, but it will. Just trust me. I really love how this turned out. So trust the process. Trust what you're doing. And if you don't like the way one of these turns out, one of your little portions, you can untwist it and sort it out and fix it. Everything is fixable. And here's our finished red layer. So now we're going to go in, and I had this blue already from a project that I've done in the past. And I'm going to take the blue and create an inner layer with the pipe cleaners that I put on the inside circle. And I'm going to start it the same way, kind of in the same location. You could have started anywhere in here. It doesn't really matter. If you're on the back side of this, then start on the other side. But I'm going to do the same exact process. Push it through, tightly secure it so I have a starting point, and wrap it tight. And then using the same exact method, gather some in the same measurement about, because that's what makes it look fuller, right? If I was to make these little tiny poofs, it might not make this look like a full wreath. But we're going to add some mesh ribbon also. I mean, you could go around this a few times with different colors, whatever you think looks good. I just had these colors already, and I thought, hey, I know this is red and blue. Yes, that's because it was from a July 4th project, but I think that once I add all the little embellishments and the sign piece and the different things that I think would look cute on this, it's going to look like a Halloween wreath. And this is the finished product we have with the red and the blue. But now we have to Halloween it up, right? We got to add in some Halloween colors to this. This is what's really going to bring this wreath together, is poofing out this Halloween color that you can see through over some of that burlap that we've got laid in there. And you just start with the same process. Push that through, gather it up. I'm going to make this a little bit poofier, so I think I might have added another inch in comparison to what I used for the red, because I'm going to just gently put this, lay this over that, because I want it to be a little bit bigger and see-through, and it's going to make it look fuller. And I like this mesh ribbon because it's got wire in the edges. So whenever I secure it here, I'll show you what I do. I secure it, and then I'm able to fluff it out a little bit. And I wanted you to be able to see the process here, so that if you make a wreath using some of the same materials, this is a super easy wreath to make. It's already, I've only got one laid in, and I think it's already starting to look like a Halloween wreath. And if I hadn't added the Halloween colors here at the end, and I had just filled it in with, say I was doing a 4th of July holiday, then I could have made this, a 4th of July wreath with the colors that I had in it. But it just goes to show you really can take anything you've got and add something to it and turn it into something else. That's the beauty of crafting. So you just go on in and continue adding those little sections to fill it out. I'm not going to have you watch me do this thing in entirety. I really just wanted you to see the process of the gathering and the fluffing out as I go around trying to get the look that I want. And here I'm going to show you the finished product. So that's it. You go around now and you're going to poof out and fluff up everything, because after you get your sign on, you're going to push those pipe cleaners through to the back. So right now I want to get the look that I want in case I need to adjust any of those. So just go around and fluff up everything. See how full that looks now in comparison to when we started? I'm not even sure which part I should make the top of this. It all looks relatively the same throughout the whole entire thing, which is what you want. You want it to be full. So now that I've nitpicked everything and fussed over it and fluffed it out just as much as I can to get it looking how I want, I'm going to go ahead and add in this garland that I got from the Dollar Tree, just fall leaves. And we're going to twist that into the pipe cleaners that we still have out, because we haven't pushed them to the back yet. because you can twist in anything that you want to add to this and make it look however you think that looks good to you. And I mean, I didn't come into this with some kind of game plan. I just had a bunch of materials in front of me and said, let's see what I can do. And that's how I do pretty much every project in my house. I have big picture in mind, you know, like end game, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. And seeing all these items in front of me was just motivating for me to try to create something new and fun. And here we are. I'm putting leaves in the wreath. I thought they might look cute and add to a fall look for this. I mean, it's a Halloween wreath, sure. It can be a Halloween wreath. That's what I'm going for. But it's also a fall wreath, right? Because we're still in September. So, in the end, the way that I create this and the things that I use, I think this first wreath I'm making is going to be more aimed towards like a fall wreath that you can put up. Well, I started putting up my decorations August 1st because I'm that girl. But this could last till October 1st, and then you can switch over to the second one I make for Halloween, or maybe you like doing straight Halloween right away. I kind of start in the fall and slowly start trickling in my Halloween stuff as I get a little bit tired of looking at the same things. I like changing it up a lot in my house, so the things I create on this page I use in my home. I might gift some of them, but for the most part, they're things that I'm creating because it's something I like the look of and I'm going to use here to decorate. So I laid all those leaves into the wreath, and now I'm going to use this pumpkin because I think that is cute for fall. And I'm going to place it in the center. And I don't show the process of how I got this guy in here, but I will show the process of the next sun that I place in here. But I ended up gluing some pipe cleaner onto the back. Gluing some pipe cleaners, multiple, 4, on the back of the pumpkin. And I pushed those through the wreath and secured those tight on the back just by twisting them in the same process that I did with all of the mesh and all the ribbon. And he stays in place. I didn't use any glue or anything like that. And now I'm trying to, fix this back up a little bit because I squished everything down just a smidge. And I'm pushing through all those pipe cleaners now that I don't need. And you can cut these off. But like I said, I'm not selling this. I'm not gifting this. So all I'm doing for me is pushing them to the back of the wreath because they're not hurting me any. I'm not going to look at the back of this. I'm going to hang it up. And if I was going to gift this, I would cut these off or glue them in place and cut them off. I mean, there's various ways that you can do this. You could watch many other people's videos. They've got a bunch of different methods for what they like to do. But in my opinion, just pushing them through, making sure they're twisted tight, that's good enough for me. See how this looks? This looks like a fall wreath, everybody. I love it. And these picks, I'm going to call them picks, little pumpkin picks. I'm going to push them through, and they're wires. So I push them right through the ribbon. They go right through. And then later I'll reach my hand back there and, just kind of pinch up that wire a little bit so they're secured in place, but they're not going to go anywhere. They're pushing through that wire. The wire's pushing through that ribbon, and it's not moving, If you use these, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they stay right where you put them. This is my favorite part of the whole wreath process here, is embellishing my wreath when I'm finished. Adding in all the little cute pieces at the end here. I did decide to not use the light. I could have, but then I would have had to secure the battery box to the back of the pumpkin, and I think and the lights are also red. I got the wrong kind of lighting for my wedding 10 years ago, and I've had I've got so many of those red LED fairy lights, and I don't even know what to do with them, and I keep trying to find projects for them, but red isn't always a color that goes with everything, and I thought red would kind of spooky this up too much since I'm going for a fall look, and I just opted out of it. I'll find another project to use them for. See, I just love the way that looks. I think that's super cute. So here is that other sign that I was mentioning. See, it says Halloween, Happy Halloween, but it still looks, it looks fall to me. Trying to figure out where I want to place it at. I think the bottom is the best place to place this. And I want to show you the process that I used to secure those pipe cleaners onto the back of this so that I can push it through and secure it to the wreath. So once I figured out where I'm going to put this, because you kind of have to know where you want to place it before you start your process of placing it. I have some ribbon that I just had some extra pieces of, and I'm going to use 2 pipe cleaners for this. And I'm going to put some hot glue down. Run out of glue. Just a strip on each side. And I'm going to lay the pipe cleaner down flat because it's only going to glue where it's touching right. And I'm going to lay that ribbon over the top of it so that it's just a more secure hold, because the glue is holding the pipe cleaner and the ribbon. And then what I'm going to do is hold my finger down. See, I didn't wear any finger protectors, and I'm over here burning myself on glue. Don't do that. Don't be me. So I'm holding it down with my finger and bending those upwards. So now I have a way to secure that to the wreath. So you have to kind of find your placement point here where you're going to push those through, because you're going to have to grab them on the back side and secure it to the wreath from back there. And it is easier than I'm making it look. I look like I'm struggling here, but I was trying to not push down the ribbon too much while I was trying to find a place to push this through here. So I've got my sign where I like it, but I got to pull my fall flowers back out because I kind of squished some of them down a little bit. And I'm going to secure some of them where I want them to stay with the glue gun, because in my head I kind of have a look that I have in mind. I want some of the leaves to be, you know, brushing up on the pumpkin, and some to sit where the sign is, just to keep it looking full. Sometimes the leaves, because it's a plastic leaf garland, you know, some of these more inexpensive ones, the leaves don't always go in the direction that you want. So because I know that this is going to be hanging up, I want the leaves to stay where I put them. And then one of my picks was in the way when I was putting the sign in, so I just pulled it out, and I'm going to put those back in. Look at this. I'm really proud of this. I really like it. I've never made a wreath using the Dollar Tree signs like this, and I had some inspiration from another video I saw, and I was like, I've got to do this. And the next thing that I'm going to do is make a bow for the top as another embellishment on the top of the pumpkin. So I already had this ribbon in my craft collection, and I'm going to cut 2 of the same lengths here. And then I've got this Halloween ribbon that was cute that you saw in the beginning of the video. And I thought that would make this look a little bit more Halloween-y if I added some of that in. And you want different ribbons at different lengths. And I've got this black ribbon I already had in my craft room. I'm just kind of cutting it in different tiered lengths. And I think I'm even going to use some of this red burlap that we put inside of the wreath itself. I've got some that I've cut into a strip. That's not the same width that we used earlier. I used that width and cut it in half. So now we're going to have 2 skinnier pieces to add on the top, because it matches everything we've already done, right? So it's going to look like it belongs there. And what you do is you stagger them, kind of like an X pattern here. And stagger your lengths. So I've got the longest one out, and then the black is next, and then I'm going to put this burlap in the middle. And you could do this in whichever order that you think looks good. This is just me winging it. I mean, 100%. I'm like literally winging it. And then I've got some jute twine here. I'm going to flip this over and tie it together. So if I put my twine on top and flip it over and tie this together, it's going to give me the look of a bow that I'm going for. So when you push it together, just do a regular, pull it tight and do a knot so that you keep it secure. And I'm going to leave the tails on this twine right here, because what I'm going to end up doing is using them to secure this to my wreath at the top. I'm going to push it through the little pumpkin hole, because remember, it was a sign by itself, the pumpkin was. And so I'm going to secure this to that using the twine right here. But the first thing I want to do is make this look more like a bow by giving it some tails on the ends of the ribbon pieces. And by tails, see, you just cut a little wedge out of each one, so it has that cute the little tails. And you can get this accomplished faster by folding them in half and cutting at a little angle. And I did that to each one. There's a word for what that's called. I'm not sure what it is. I'm calling it little ribbon tails. I'm sure someone could fill me in on the name. I'm going to take this twine piece, and there's a little hole at the top of this pumpkin. I'm going to push it through and grab it from the other side, and I'm going to tie this on to the top. See how I pull it through there? And I pull it a little bit tight, but I gave myself enough wiggle room that I could scoot this around and get it looking how I want it to after I'm done securing it here. And I could use glue too after I get it where I want it, but I don't end up gluing it to that because it really wasn't necessary. It stayed where I put it. So I'm just tying a little knot in the back off view of the camera. I think I tied like 2 knots in the back so it'd stay. And fluff this out and get it looking how you want. I'm going to use some of these little spiders that I had. I really think I got this from Walmart. I don't think it's Dollar Tree because it doesn't match the tag on it. But they have spiders at the Dollar Tree, and you could just, like little rings, you could cut those off and glue this. But I'm going to use this glittery spider I got from Walmart. And I put a little bit of hot glue on it, and I'm just holding it until it's secure and dry to the top of this bow. And that's going to be the center of my bow, is that cute little sparkly spider. And because I liked it so much, I'm going to add some more sparkly spiders to this. They're twisted on here. Add a little bit of hot glue. And just pick a spot that you like. I like to do everything kind of symmetrical, so I'm going to add one more spider here. After I'm done cleaning up, I like a clean workspace best I can. Hard to do that when you're crafting. But I'm going to put one more spider on the right side over here, just so that it feels more uniform to me. Add a little bit of hot glue. And I'm kind of securing that to the ribbon. I like spiders. I don't like spiders in real life, but decorating with them, I think it looks cute on here. I can't believe I said I like spiders. I don't like spiders, but I like the way it looks for Halloween. Spiders are one of the ultimate Halloween spooky creatures. And I really didn't want to make this spooky at all, but I think it doesn't take away from just a fall, beginning of Halloween decoration wreath for your door. So we got to put some way to hang this on a door. And I'm going to take some of that same twine and just pull it through one of the spots that's even to the bottom of your wreath. So you're going to go straight up from the bottom to the top. Loop it around the wire just once. And then tie a knot as high as you want it to hang from the door. And there you've got your door hanger. I mean, simple as that. As long as you've got like maybe a command hook or a nail, you'll be able to hang that up. And it will sit on the door just like it looks on this table. I love the way this turned out so much. I cannot wait to go hang it up, and I'm going to post a photo of how it looks on the door in just a moment for you all to see. And then I've got another wreath after this I'm going to make with some of the more spooky stuff that I didn't use. That's going to be my Halloween spooky wreath, and this one's more my fall wreath. So, isn't this cute? I think it is. Let me show you how it looks on the door. In this next DIY of a different style of Halloween wreath, I'm using just a simple paper hole punch, and I'm punching holes in this Dollar Tree platter that I've had in my closet for, I'm not kidding, probably 4 years. And I'm creating holes to put the pipe cleaners in so that I can create the wreath look around the edge of this platter. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, you're punching holes in a platter. Well, it's really thin plastic and it's super easy, and I'm punching about 3 inches apart. I'm putting 2 holes right next to each other, and then 3 inches apart I'm putting 2 holes next to each other, and I'm going to go around the entire platter here and just punch holes. After that's done, I'm taking some chalk paint, black chalk paint. You could take this outside and spray paint it, but I don't have any black spray paint, so I'm going to use chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the entire platter black, letting it dry really good in between both coats. And I am putting it on pretty thick, you know, as thick as you can. It goes on really well. That's the thing about chalk paint. Just painting, painting, painting. And then after I get 2 coats of chalk paint, which I know it doesn't look like it, this is bad lighting, I used some, what I'm calling Halloween fabric. It came in a bundle I bought of Halloween print fabric. It's just orange polka dot, but I think it's cute and it's going to match this. I'm going to cut out a oval shape that matches the inside of the platter off camera. So here's the circle, and it's not perfect circle, it's oval, and it's not a perfect oval, and that's fine because that's not going to matter. And I'm going to take some Elmer's glue here. I have a giant container of Elmer's glue, and I'm going to glue it in, and it will flatten out. So I didn't even iron these wrinkles out, because another thing that doesn't matter. You get this flattened out fabric, and it looks good. Well, outside of the fact that it's not completely an oval, but like I said, you'll see at the end. Perfection does not always matter. I'm really what I'm trying to do with this particular wreath, the second wreath here, is to use everything I didn't use for the first wreath and make something out of nothing that still is super cute, and it's got whatever vibe that, you know, you're feeling at the time. Which me, I wanted to use the rest of the little nostalgic sign pieces and create just something cute out of all the things that I had here and had left over. I mean, everything doesn't have to be super expensive to be super cute. And as you see, I'm just taking all these little pipe cleaners, wrapping it through the 2 holes, pushing them up through both holes, and then this is it. That's all you need. And I had this already. This is from Christmas. And I'm going to do the same method I did in the very first wreath and create a starting point by twisting this around the ribbon and creating little poofs. But this particular ribbon has the little wire inside of it, both sides, so that it can be shaped when I'm done. So you just go through and you're twisting around the platter. And what I'm going to do is kind of create this wreath-like frame around the edge of this platter. And I'm going to end up hanging this on a door. You'll see. It's super cute when I get it all done. Just go around making little poofs. And we're going to create 2 different layers with 2 different ribbons and create the same look that we got from the first wreath. I'm trying to show you the process here. I know you don't want to watch me do every single twist, and I know it doesn't look like much now, but it will. So here's the second layer, and as you see, it looks much cuter than just the silver, but I'm trying to do these together. See how I didn't finish the silver around the frame? I'm going to call it a frame now. Now it's not a platter, it's a frame. So I'm going to do the 2 of these together now so that I can get the look that I want by working together with the measurement, just by eyeballing it and fluffing it out as I go. Both of these have wire on the outer ridges rim. I don't know what the term would be, but there's a little bit of wire in them, so they shape really well, and that's why I chose these 2 out of all the little ribbons I have extra over here. And I'm even using the end piece from one of the rolls, and I connect the new roll halfway through this, but you're not going to even need to see that. I'm going to move through the video really quick so that you skip me reconnecting the ribbons and all that, because what matters here is the finished product. Well, also how I get there, but the fact that it didn't matter. So, see? You can't even tell. See what I did here? I made a little bow piece at the bottom where I connected the 2. So, I'm going to take these signs. This is what was left over This came off of a little Dollar Tree sign. This came off of a Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to take these and I'm going to paint the outer edge of them, because right now it just has like this tan, like, you know, wood color. And I want to line it with this black chalk paint, because they're going to go on the inside of that frame on that polka dot fabric. Like I said, I'm just using the leftovers, creating something from nothing and making something cute for the door if I want to switch it out. Or I could give this one as a gift to someone that maybe doesn't have a cute wreath hanging inside of their home or on the inner door of their house. And this is super easy. Just taking a paintbrush and lining the outside here, just on the outside. If you make any, you know, if any paint gets on the inside, it can be cleaned up, and I'll show you what I use to clean it up in a minute. And then I'm cutting see, on the last one I tucked it, but this one, because of the type of we're not using a wreath with all that space on the inside. We're using a platter, so I cut it off and tucked everything. And then I know I'm going through the rest of this video kind of quick, I'm sorry, but I just didn't figure you'd want to see a whole hour of me doing the same motions, essentially. I found these little Jenga blocks at a Goodwill or Salvation Army. There was like 20 left in the box. And I'm going to use these to give some depth to this frame that I've created here. Just using all these leftover pieces so that it'll stand up off of it. So this is kind of like tier 1, and I can lift something even higher than this, and I can put things behind it. So using any type of wooden blocks, you know, I don't know what you might have found in a thrift store, some Scrabble tiles stacked up, a piece of leftover wood from any project you've done in the past, anything will work. But I've seen a lot of other crafters use these, and I thought, well, that's genius. I'm going to go out and see if I can find some. And sure enough, there was 20 in a box, and they were calling my name. So I'm going to use a few of them here on this project. I glued that down. I just used hot glue. It worked perfect for what I needed. It's going to get the hole that I need on this, because I just didn't feel like I needed anything like a tight bond or anything like that. The super glue, the hot glue, is doing everything that I needed to. So I actually glued this differently to begin with, but then I changed the way I had it sitting. But I've got 2 blocks stacked up on this because I want it to be taller than the trick or treat sign in the background. And you'll see what I do here is I figure out placement first. See, I didn't put any glue on the backs yet because I want to see kind of where I want it. I like this cat. I don't know that, you know, maybe you don't think he matches this, but he has that nostalgic look. I thought it was cute. I had to have this when I saw it. I didn't exactly know what I was going to use it for until today, but I love how this turned out. The lettering and how it looks like a scroll that's unrolled, and then the nostalgic cat, black cat, and all the colors match with the oranges. I could have painted the cat to change it, but I liked how it was. I liked the glitter on it. But that's just me. You could definitely, if you recreate this in any way, you could paint it and change it and make it to whatever you're feeling at the time. But this was just, I left it alone. Much easier, and it matched everything. So I'm going to go around and fluff this up just a tad. Just pulling both of them together. It almost looks like it's braided in, kind of. It looks kind of neat. I like it. And I'm going to do something with this bow later. But for now, I'm just going to trim little tags into this, I don't know what it's called. Little, making it look like a little bow at the bottom. And trim some of that wire mesh ribbon at the top that's kind of frayed out. Just cleaning it up. Clean it up. But I am going to do something way cuter with this later. I have a plan. For once, I have a plan. I have a plan for the bow. But I'm going to go and, yeah, get this all fluffed up. Lots of fluffing. See, look at that. You would never know that was a platter. So I glued in one more of the little Jenga blocks, and I'm going to use this pumpkin over here just because I think it looks cool. Again, just using, just hot glue. Hold it down for a second, and it's good. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you can't even really pull it off of there. Not too easy. And I glue in one of those glittery spiders I used from the first wreath. I mean, I have them, so I'm going to use them. And I think that these spiders are cute, and they match the glitter from the signs. So I did go ahead off camera. I glued in some of these little tiny skeletons. They were originally like a little skeleton wreath, but I just cut the twine off of the top of them and glued them standing up, and I glued the 2 pumpkin picks I have left over. I pulled a little wire piece out of the bottom, and I'm going to have the skeletons just sitting there holding the pumpkins because it kind of matches the pumpkin that I glued in that's wooden. So I'm using different mediums, I guess you could say, different techniques, different items that I have to try to make this. Does it look a little tacky? Hey, whatever. I like it. I think it's cool. This is my style. Kind of funky. And I'm using the rest of what I have because, I mean, I could save these for another project, but I just believe in, if it looks good and I have it, use it, I can go and scavenge for more things later. So I attached a piece of the pipe cleaner to the bats using the same technique that I used on the first wreath. I'm going to pull it through some holes that I'd already had there, the hole punched holes, and twist it in the back so he can just be kind of flying up there. These little glue strings. And then I'm even going to use these little potion bottles because, hey, why not? But I'm going to make them look kind of stacked a little bit, like there's a couple sitting there. And so I'm going to glue one on top of the other. And then glue those down in the empty space that we have left. Yeah, see, to me, this one just screams Halloween. The other one did too, but this is a completely different look. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to make. But we're not finished yet. I do want to go ahead and show you what I meant about the bow. So I'm using the same ribbon, the same technique as I did earlier. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of ribbon. 2 pieces of ribbon per different type of ribbon. And I'm going to stack them on top of each other to measure until I get all of the. Now you could put 10 different kinds of ribbons here, and I've seen it done. I've seen all kinds of ways. This is just how I'm doing it with what I have. And I thought I had more of this ribbon than I actually do, so you'll see me correct a little boo-boo here, but I didn't have enough. So I'm just going to cut it to the length that I actually do have, just under that tape that I could not get off. Yeah, I mean, it's not coming off of there. And it just, like I said, see, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. I wish somebody would come up with a magnifying glass on something I created at home. That'd just be crazy. My daughter's in the background going in and out of her room. If you can hear doors opening, sorry. And running and skipping down the hall. So I had some of that leftover like silver gray ribbon, the Christmas ribbon I used to wrap around the platter in the beginning. Hey, I've got it, so I'm going to use it. And it's got that wire in it, so it'll shape. And now I'm going to go ahead and stack these. Yeah, you see the box there while I'm stacking of their alcohol wipes. I use them to clean up little messes. I think I got 4 boxes for less than $5 off of Amazon. They're just medical little alcohol prep pads, but this way I don't have to go get any cleaner. I've seen people use baby wipes, bath wipes, different things from the Dollar Tree. I have these, and I keep a few boxes in my craft room here, and I cleaned up some paint that I'd gotten on the front of the signs that I painted around the edges. So anyway, I'm a messy crafter. I try to keep my area clean when I'm trying to show you all how I'm doing something, but that's just not reality. So I had some twine sitting over here from the skeletons, actually. I didn't have to cut any. That was part of the little skeleton wreath heads that I cut off. So cool, using what I got. Tying a little knot here. I'm going to cut these ties off because I'm not going to attach this by tying knot. I'm going to the same method I did with the bat. And I'll show you that in a minute. And I'm doing the same thing, folding it in half, kind of cutting it at an angle, and that'll give you I gotta look up what that's called. It's called something. So I'm going to set it right on top of that. The mesh ribbon at the bottom, the orange underneath it, and I'm going to wrap this around it once so that it, I've got it held securely, and then I'm going to put it through the existing holes right here that I already had. Well, I'm going to put one through because I'm going to pinch it down at the bottom and do the twist method, and it'll hold securely underneath. And then I'll cut it off and tuck it under just like I did with the rest of the wires underneath, the rest of the pipe cleaners. And now you got to fluff everything up and fix the bow. Super pretty. And when it's not laying on a table, this looks so cute. But you know what I got to do, right? I got to put a spider, just like I did for the other one. I like it. I'm doing it. I'm using what I got. And then I wouldn't be me if I didn't do 3. So I'm just, for good measure, untwisting another one and throwing some glue on them, or her. Maybe it's the girl spider. And I'm gonna put that up here, up on the ribbon above the cats. So this is the finished product. Everything looks pretty good. I do make a few adjustments and fluff a few things, but I think this turned out really great, making something out of nothing and using leftovers, and here it is. So thank you to everyone that watched this lengthy 2-wreath video. It was super cool and super fun to do for all of you. Let me know by hitting that like button. Hit subscribe if you want to watch any videos in the future that I make. And I'll see you all soon.